Alright, so we are here. Um, oh, okay. I was wondering if I could just look at the story chart to like show where I am right now. I literally just started this chapter basically. So nothing really missed, I guess. I suppose to recap, so right now I'm doing one of Tetsuo's chapters. So this is me right now. Pretty cool. So I'm doing some detective work here, and I got my partner June Aereo. So basically, we're doing daytime stuff. So we went through a full night in the story, pretty much. And now we are doing detective work, trying to find the remaining curse bearers. So the people who have curse stones and are going around trying to kill everyone, pretty much. We're going hot on the trail, trying to find out where they are and what they're doing. And in the game, we have like a time limit, so we need to like find them before, I think, the break of dawn of the next day, pretty much. Is those are the terms and conditions. But let's just have a good think here. There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving. Alright, let's see if June has anything to say. Oh, right. I think actually all we can do right now is move to a different area. So okay. Oh, that actually opened up another path. So yeah, this is we're on Tetsuo's path right here. And it opened up another route for Harue, and then there's another one for Yako as well. I kind of like to just, personally, I like to just continue as far along as I can in a route, and then kind of branch off from there. So we're gonna continue Tetsuo's route. This one's called Fancy Sushi. Alright, I'll read the summary here. With dusk fast approaching, they have no time to waste. With that in mind, Tsutsumi and Ario direct their investigation toward Tomagata High School and the Shiraishi residence. Alright. Let's do it. 1 second here. I like to turn on I don't know what you want to call it, like mood lighting in my house. So I'll have I have light bulbs that can change different colors, so it's not like super bright, but I have some like ambiance in the background. All right, I got some like kind of green light in my vision now. All right, anyway, all right, so we're over here currently. We got a few options. So we could go to Komagata High School or Michio Shiraishi's neighborhood. So Michio is this person here who basically she jumped off the building allegedly, but it's seeming like it may have been an accident pretty much. So I guess I would be investigating that. And this is the high school she went to, Komagata High School. I haven't been to the high school in a while, so I think I'll just go here first. So, got 9 a.m. at the high school. Here we are, Komagata High. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. It's kind of weird that there are kids just hanging out at the high school even though it's closed. But ideally, we could talk to someone who was involved in the incident. Easier said than done, though. Is there something on my shirt? Don't tell me I stink. Why does he make this face though? Why? Okay. Let me look at the surroundings real quick before I talk to June. The news of the dead teacher has also attracted a fair share of rubberneckers. I don't know what that means. The atmosphere is kind of tense with this many cops around. Can I look that up? I've never heard that term before. And I am really curious what that means. Oh, I see. It's a term to refer to bystanders staring at accidents, I guess. So, it comes from the term of the neck's appearance while trying to get a better view. I see. So they're basically like nosy and being like, oh, what's going on here? Type of thing. Okay. The atmosphere is kind of tense with this many cops around. Let's look at the gates. The school gate will stay locked while forensics inspects the scene of the incident. It's like they're still busy. Let's talk to the person in charge later. Not gonna lie, I'm struggling to remember what happened. Like, there was that incident with Michio, but that didn't happen, like, recently. That happened, like, a week ago. I haven't played this game since, like, last Wednesday of last week. I'm sure I'll find out in a moment, but... Komagata High's gymnasium also serves as a polling place and evacuation center. A lot of the buildings around here are still made of wood, but this place looks safe and sturdy. Okay. Let's talk to June. This place isn't only connected to the case because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. It's also the site of the Fool's Procession, and of course where that teacher was killed. Yeah, so this is one of the curses, basically. Or the legends. What is it classified under? Sorry, one of the 7 mysteries. So basically like an old legend that in this game went into like different curses and whatnot. I guess I'm just recapping a little bit since I'm starting this game again, but yeah, so this one. Seems like a likely place to find some clues, don't you think? Yeah. Oh, right, speaking of schools. What is it? You said Paranormal Affairs can't help us right now. So why don't we get that psychic high schooler you mentioned to help us? A lot of the people involved in this case lead back to the school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. For a guy who questioned me on the legality of working with them, you sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. Damn. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. When you become such a smooth talker. Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout out the area. Okay, I guess I'll try talking to someone. Oh, there's something over here I haven't looked at. Yoshimi also looked out for these students as a Sumida police officer. Juvenile delinquency has been a growing problem for years now. This school is no exception. Turn the music down slightly. This might be kind of loud. Well, he's asking if I can talk to someone, but like this, I can't like directly click on people, so it's like maybe I'd ask this dude. this like officer standing here, but um I don't think there's anything else I can really like interact with here. 9 a.m., a perfectly reasonable time for students to be at school, and yet I doubt this will be that simple. Okay. So maybe he's saying I have to go. I probably have to go here or something and then come back. So let's go to Michio's neighborhood here. Near the Shiraishi household. So this is the high school girl who passed away. It seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Okay. The houses are really crammed together in these narrow alleyways. Strangers like us walking through definitely stand out. It really feels like old Tokyo. It's quiet. This place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. But it seems like everyone's decided to stay inside because of the recent incidents. Oh! A sticker! Wow, this one's pretty punk. I would say like a punk bald eagle. Wow. There's like 20 of those I gotta find. Alright, I'm gonna think. So, the Shiraishi household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. It might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. I don't think there's anything else really here. I can stare at June. Ario is checking the Shiraishi house at the end of the road. The street's real narrow, so two big guys like us would stick out like a pair of sore thumbs. Okay, alright, I'll go check the house. Okay, I'm just waiting, I guess. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home? Doesn't look like it. I knocked for a while, but nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed into their mailbox. Aria looks kinda disappointed. Alright, I guess I just have to leave for now. Suspend? I've never seen this option. What does that do for me? Oh, I see. So I guess I have to come back. I have to, like, progress in someone else's story. Alright. Well, this one was already up before, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna work on this one for, Yako's storyline. So this one is called Hitomi's Help. So I'll do a quick summary here. Bringing her friend back from the dead means she'll have to pay the price. Yako makes it home safely, but still isn't sure about how to proceed with her curse. She worries about Mio as the night passes. Okay. So here it's 8 a.m. A little bit earlier. Yako's home. Oh, good morning, Yako. Huh? Yako, rise and shine. Huh? You're up. Huh? It's morning? Are you okay? Can you remember your name? Duh, um, I could literally just say I'm you. Like, I am you. I feel like it'd be kind of funny if I said something else. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say I'm Spectre the Spirit Board. No, no, don't fall back asleep. You must be still dreaming. Wake up. Yes, I'm Yako Sakazaki. Good. Oh, Mio, thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yep, still alive. I couldn't dispel the curse echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. But in that situation, it's the best you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I meant to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. I can't even remember when I fell asleep. It's okay, it's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Oh yeah, you said something about that last night. Just who are you exactly, Mio? Um, well, truth is, I've been trained in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would with flower arranging? I had quite the eventful childhood. Sounds like it must have been tough. Yes, it would take a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as the apprentice, or maybe more like assistant, to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm sent to schools that may experience something paranormal and put a stop to it before it happens. Wow, that's amazing. So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student? Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training so I don't get any money. Oh, you've got it rough then, but still, that really is amazing. You were so cool when you faced off against the evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyways, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school, and why I'm going to look into the cause of all this. For now, let's head to the school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right, I do have it, but... Yako, is it really so wrong? Trying to bring Michio back, I mean? I can't approve of it. The right may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt. That's what I believe and what I'll put before anything else. Is that... Why do they all make this face? Like... I'm sorry, but... Is it okay if I hold on to it? Yako, I promise I won't use the curse no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I... I don't know, I kinda don't believe her. I feel like she would use it. I just have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on the possibility just yet. That said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curses. For the Michio that still exists within me, I'll settle things so that we can move forward. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the curse stone at any point. Right, thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. Alright. 8 a.m. hours at the Komagata High School front gates. Huh? I thought it unusually noisy. There's a big group of people and police in front of the school. Did something happen? If the police are here, then something must have. I'll go ask. Thanks. This isn't good. Oh, what happened? Don't panic, okay? First teacher who came to work this morning found something. Okay. Mr. Jonochi was found dead in the middle of the school grounds. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. They kind of just briefly went over that. Like, it was just like, oh, all these people died, including this person. So, they didn't, it wasn't made to be a big deal necessarily. But yeah, one of the teachers. What? They're closing the school for today. But that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way. Why? Could it be because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Janochi's body was in the middle of the grounds. But his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account his unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with the curse. You're saying someone used their curse on him last night? Seems like it, doesn't it? But that's so scary. Yeesh, so the curses really do kill people. I mean, yeah. And someone used it. Keep your voice down, okay? What would happen if another curse bearer heard you? Sorry. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we could sneak in through the back entrance. Hmm? That person over there. Isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right, that's unusual. Oh, but she was at the school last night too. She must know something about Mr. Janochi. Let's see what she has to say. I wonder if she's a curse bearer, honestly. I haven't actually talked to this character yet, but heard a lot about her. Oh, Mia, wait for me. Huh. You're telling me the two of you were the ones at the school last night? I like her hair. No sense hiding it then. Does she have like red eyes? Plus, I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Oh, yeah, right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. She gave me one of those, what was it? Oh, exorcisms. Ah, so that's what it was. Alright. Just gonna ask about Jonochi's death. Did you hear about Mr. Jonochi? Heard about it? I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. Oh shit. What? You saw it happen? Tell us about it. What happened exactly? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What I can tell you, it was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden, ran out onto the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. I asked somebody help me, forgive me, Michio. Or something like that while he was running around. But yeah, he did seem like really scared of Michio even though she's like dead. Michio? He mentioned Michio? Was there anyone else out on the grounds? It was too dark to see from where I was. but for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Oh. Um, that does sound like Michio. Weird. Oh? I didn't go out to make sure, so it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life like, I was wrong and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden his arms and legs snapped, even though he was just standing there. Ooh. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him. Fell over and quit moving, so I thought I'd better get out of there. Jeez. Then he croaked. That's all I saw. I see. But from what you've told us, it almost sounds like Michio's ghost chased down Mr. Jinochi and killed him. Hell, if I know anything about that, I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Huh. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them for shit. Damn. Not like they believe such an insane story anyways. Yeah, you kinda got a point. She's also kinda like the rebel girl, so yeah, I didn't expect her to really cooperate with the authorities. Right. But there must be at least one person in the police worth trusting, right? Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. But he died just the other day. Aww. Must be that one who passed away in the park, I think. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. You got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. Huh? It wasn't? Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. Though I'm sure that was hard enough for you. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been thinking something. Hmm? The way she described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Jinochi died, it sounds a lot like how Michio died. Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state Michio's body was in, it was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? Yeah, that would be pretty likely, I would think. I don't think so. The curses of the seven mysteries hadn't manifested when she died. Oh, yeah. And if we can trust what the spirit board said, then Michio died in an accident. Oh, right. Hitomi, were you possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself. What I can say for sure is, thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people are born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It is possible with spirits who have a very close relationship to their target, like siblings or a parent and child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when the two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seances, or whatever you see on TV, are all bogus? Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. There are people who in life had extremely powerful spirit sense or a deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. But if that's the case, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? Hence why there are lots of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host, the deeper their connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see. Getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? It must have been tough for you being possessed for so long, he told me. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yako. I bet you could see them too with a little training. I think I may pass. Okay. I'll ask more about the exorcism. So that's why you do the job you do, huh, Mio? I thought she was a weirdo when she showed up all of a sudden, saying she was gonna exorcise me. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. Damn. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. I guess that makes sense. I'll ask about the classroom incident. He told me, last night before you witnessed Mr. Jinochi collapse, can I ask what he and you were doing in the classroom? Gonna tell the cops? What? That depends, I guess. Right, with everything that happened with Mr. Jinochi, they'll suspect you if we told them we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those shitty adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I won't tell them. You wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. So last night, that piece of shit Jinochi called me over here, acting like he was gonna attack me or something. Oh, what the heck? What? How terrible. Whatever, I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. Damn. Calling people worthless and a cancer on society when he doesn't know shit about them. Damn. Yeah, that seems pretty rude. Especially he's a teacher, I mean. That asshole was the one always acting like scum if you ask me. Is that so? Could you tell us more in detail why he called you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain. Where to start? Jinochi's misdeeds. What did you mean by Mr. Jinochi acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michio Shiraishi, right? The girl who killed herself. Not Michio? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her. And he was using it to blackmail her, call her up after school and make her do whatever he wanted. Oh, that's gross. What? What do you mean when you say... Ugh. Man. Yeah, I don't even want to know. I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple model students like you would ever get involved with. No way, that's... How? What do you mean by dirt? I don't know anything about this. How could I not have known about this? Yako, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Inochi really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. Jeez. She probably felt like she couldn't tell anyone, like she had to suffer alone. Oh, how terrible. He told me, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. Oh, jeez. I know the spots around school people go to when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him, asking what he was doing. Walked in on it? I couldn't just leave her alone, looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine and to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. I mean, apparently he had blackmail on her, so... But still, that's pretty messed up. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No. Of course, Jinochi didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. He told me, if you knew about it, then why didn't you... You trying to say it's my fault? She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yako, there's no point blaming, he told me. Michio, why? I guess I'll ask about the dirt on Michio. Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But from the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. For that long? The dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved. There's more to a person than meets the eye, you know. There must be some reason. Dunno, got nothing to do with me. She do seem like the type who just kinda minds her own business. Guess I'll ask more about the classroom. So, last night, how did it start? Right. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? He died at the former Yasuda Gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy, but good at looking out for folks. So he was the only one I could talk to. Huh, so there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, another thing. One time he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. It was hilarious seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me that she was like me when she was my age, and that she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her, too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Damn, she's in all these places. Um, Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi always took me straight to that park. Then he'd listen to whatever it was I was pissed off about. That day, he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him. Like he was worried about something? Worried about something? Yeah, he asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. Favor? What kind of favor? He handed me a weird talisman and asked me to hold on to it for him. Talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured if that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. I wonder if this is a cursed item maybe. But that wasn't all. Then he told me that he wanted me to look for a talisman Michio Shiraishi had that looked like this one. Huh. Michio? What does she have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. While they were together, he noticed that she had like a special talisman or something. But apparently Michio always avoided the subject. A talisman that Michio had. He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could there have been something that Michio couldn't even tell the police about? I know things at home were a little complicated. From what I heard, Michio was keeping her mouth shut about what Jinochi was doing to her. Hard to talk with the cops when someone's got dirt on you. And I didn't squeal on anything about Michio either. Michio, was it that... What is it that had such a strong grip on you? So basically, Yoshimi didn't just have his eye on Michio, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talismans? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside it, there's just a weird kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it. But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. But to be honest, what he was asking is such a pain in the ass, I figured he had to be serious about it. Oh, and since he died right after that... Yeah, he even said to me, if anything happens to me, take those two talismans. Give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt that something was gonna happen to him. Nakagoshi? Do you know him, Mio? No, I've just heard the name, I think. So there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief, at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. He told me, yeah? That talisman, would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust you all that much yet. It's important to me. Oh, okay. Is there someone like that in my... apparently I don't have a profile on a Nakagoshi, not that I can see, so I don't know. So, last night you were looking for the talisman Michio had? Yeah. And I figured that a piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michio. Damn. I asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now. Come to the school tonight. Even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. He seemed pretty willing to give it out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's used it for secret meetings before. Ugh, I can only imagine. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night, but nothing he said made any sense. Like that I was really Michio and stuff like that. He went on and on about how it was my fault and that if only I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Are you okay? Yeah, that's right when you two showed up. I was able to get away while Jinochi was freaking out. My gosh, good thing you got away. So it's really all thanks to you two that I got away. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Huh. Afterward, I was wondering what you two were up to, so I hid nearby. Then I saw you and old man Ashimiya talking, and then Mio showed up. Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Jinochi come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were only here to look for Michio's talisman. I was dumb to fall for that creep Jinochi's trap so easy. It could have gone a lot worse, but I lucked out. Okay. What you described does sound like Michio killed Mr. Jinochi. She did have a reason to hate him after all. No way, you mean that really was her ghost, like for real? Those who die bearing strong resentment or regret can occasionally become spirits, either bound to a place or roaming freely. However, it'd usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But it's possible they could possess someone close to them to act on those lingering regrets. I wonder if that's what happened. Alright, then supposing what the spirit board said is true and Michio's death was an accident, then she must have had some regrets. If she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up no matter what the situation. I don't really know, but she didn't seem like she had something tormenting her so much that she'd kill herself. Yeah, they were also saying that kind of seemed like an accident anyway, so. And that's all I know. Happy? I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure, thank you, Hitomi. Oh, if you two find out anything about Michio's talisman, I'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where can we normally find you? Right, I'm not home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. Thanks. We'll call her if we need to talk with you. And, what is it? You're easier to talk to than I imagine. I was kinda scared at first, but not anymore. Shut up. You were the one avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later. And don't die out there, okay? Thanks. We'll be careful. Alright. She's kinda cool, honestly. I like her. Maybe not as much as, that one Ayame character, but she's pretty cool. Alright then. We got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Jinochi was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes, the curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Mr. Jinochi seem to be different. The people in the school at the time other than us were Mr. Jinochi, Hitomi, and Old Man Ashimiya, who you ran into. I was thinking it would be among them, but there was one more person Hitomi saw a girl in a school uniform with braids. From what Hitomi was saying, it doesn't seem like she's the one. Mr. Jinochi is pretty suspicious, though. If he were a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. Right, that's why I say there were multiple. Oh right, the person who killed Mr. Jinochi would have to be the one too. Which means it must be either the mysterious girl or Old Man Ashimiya? Yeah, we should certainly be careful of them. That said, the mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Jinochi thought it was Michio that was attacking him had me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michio herself was actually there, but... Oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Araishi outside the main gate last night. You did? It's likely he's involved with the curses given that he's the one doing research on the rite of resurrection. So we'll have to be careful of Old Man Ashimiya and Mr. Araishi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but as for what to do now, I'd like to find who is responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping it at its source. That makes sense. In which case, next we should do what exactly? We'll need to talk with Mr. Araishi. He definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. But the school is closed. I wonder where he could be. Let's try heading someplace someone may know where he is. Where to go then? Alright. Whoa, I got a lot of options here. I'm just hydrating. Alright, let's see. I mean, I have seen this dude. He was in the one of the parks, I think it was, but it's not one of the parks that I currently have access to. So, let me see here. So this is kind of where Yako lives over here by the candy shop. Um, the high school is where we're currently at, right? And then not sure why I go to Komagata Bridge. Um, I mean, I might have to end up going to a lot of these places, but let's just go. I'm gonna go to Yaseta Gardens for now. 9 a.m. And so, Mio Kurosuzu and Yako Sakazaki decided on their next location to investigate. Um, am I able... I'm surprised it just booted me out. Am I able to keep going here? Or, is it like forcing me to go somewhere else? Okay. Yeah, I guess... Alright, I guess I have to go on Harue's route then. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if, like, the location that I select will have some impact on, like, where the story progresses and that sort of thing. As I'm almost wondering if I like stayed at the school, if I would run into the two investigators possibly. But let's just continue Harue's route and just see what happens. Okay, so this one's called Life Can Be Tough. So, summary here. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haruwe lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. Alright, let's do it. Here we're at 10 a.m. at Shigima Mansion. Alright. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. I'm just gonna look around the surroundings and stuff first. The town is beginning to wake up once more. The clamor of society can be heard from beyond the garden gates. Like any day, a cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. This is the old mansion where I was born and raised. Anything else here? Doesn't seem like much to look at. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. We may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with a curse bearer and have them use the right for our purposes? I don't know how well that would go, but... Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. Yeah, I could kinda see that. Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimos, would it? Of course, why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. It's an interesting way to go about it, for sure. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. I guess I'll ask about curse bearers. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the rite. This would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right, but despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? there's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught. Do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them. But I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, although she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum, pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She is planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best if we act carefully around her. Next is the tall man who is dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as the secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the water. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the rite would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare? Ha, now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right? Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on South Warigesui Street. I guess now I'll ask about the kidnapping. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Jonochi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay it a visit. Understood. I wonder if I'll run into the two investigators if I do that. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries' curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. About the serial killings. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. You should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right, let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me most so far? So I could go to the school, South Warigesui Street, or Midoricho Park. What I'm kind of wondering is if depending on where I go, and then I'm able to like meet up with the other parties, possibly. I don't know if that's even a thing, but maybe I'll go to the school first just to see. Hey, Kenny. Not doing too bad. I just started up about like an hour ago streaming. I'm just doing part of like the daytime investigating in the game. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. teacher's body was found here after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. Oh yeah, day 2. Yeah, day 2... I think might be more like day 5 or something. Like, that's probably how many streams I've done of this game so far, but... Yeah, it's going good. Alright, I'm gonna... I guess investigate the surroundings and whatnot. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Okay. Is there anything else I can look at here? What's Richter up to? He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. 2 people have died. A teacher named Kohei Jinochi and a student named Michio Shiraishi. Is there anything else to be gained here? Just gonna talk to boy. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. Alrighty. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. Yeah, pretty true. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jinochi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio is the one that killed Mr. Jinochi. Really? The story's got 2 pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. I feel like it's kind of weird that the teacher would just be like gossiping to the students, just like, oh yeah, I heard this weird rumor, isn't that funny? Like, just doesn't report it at all. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around the school late last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. Oh, immature teachers. Yeah, for sure. Very dramatic. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Yeah, I would say. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. Yeah, why was I Why was I able to get that info so easily? That does seem kind of sus. I don't know if he has anything else to say here, but I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. Yeah. This is the look of a professional right here. I don't know why this game they always make this face. I don't know what it is. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. Okay. Okay, he doesn't have anything else to say. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to do here. Can I think about anything new? Michio's home. I'd expect her family might be able to tell us more, but it's such a hard topic to bring up so soon after her suicide. Yeah. However, it's normal for a high school girl to keep things hidden from her parents, especially if it involves criminal activity. I guess I'll just go there. See what happens. Alright. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home, however, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door and all the lights were out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Alright. I'll look around a little bit. It's a bit quieter over here. It is a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? Yeah, sure, dude. I don't think there's anything else to really look at here. I don't understand why no one's come to this house, even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. Yeah, that is kind of weird. I've never liked these messy and cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone as strong and tall as Richter accompanying me. He looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing, always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. Oh, yeah. Let me, just talk to him real quick. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Huh. Interesting. Michio's mom, Toshiko, is now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So, what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. Oh, jeez. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams pleading with him to not hit Michio. Oh my god. This poor kid had such a messed up situation going on. That's terrible. Is it? That wasn't unsettling enough. Every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. What? What happened at this house? Through this, the Shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. Oh man. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed, even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. Wait, really? That's kind of messed up. Yeah, it's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Although, they're thinking that was an accident, so... Things only got worse with EY, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Damn. Ever since, EY hasn't returned to the home. Wow. That's, yeah, it's pretty tragic, honestly. I mean, it was said that Michio had some blackmail surrounding her as well with the teacher. I wonder if it was related to this situation at all. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. Damn. It's messed up. Seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one's partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. Yeah, I've heard of some cases like that. After her husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. Yeah. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Okay. Yeah. I know. Michio, I feel so bad for her. Gotta bring her back. But the Shiraishis certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it. Yeah. Yeah, she just really had a lot of bad stuff going for her, unfortunately. The Shiraishis were dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part in the kidnapping? Yeah, I could see something like that. If she was involved with, someone with a criminal record, like, in her household, I could definitely see something like that. Alright, so we were already at the high school. I could go to Warigesui Street or the park. I'm gonna go to the street. Warigesui Street. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Warigesui Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. To think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is called the Queen. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary? That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Business is up and running. I can see people inside the reception area. Alright, thanks for joining, Kenny. Have a good one. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Wari-Gesui ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. Huh. That is quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. Kind of curious of this new, like, person of interest. I haven't even looked at all these. I'll just read about some of these new profiles that I got. Alright, so we have Hitomi. She's a pretty cool character, honestly. On the rare occasion she does show up to school, she skips all her classes and spends her time hanging out on the rooftop with her fellow troublemakers. Yeah, sounds like a pretty rebel thing to do. She's regarded by teachers as one of the worst offenders among delinquent students. She was fairly ordinary when she started high school, but trouble at home in her first year had her take a turn for the worse. She associated with a group of delinquents from other schools. She'd wander around town at night to avoid returning home. Warnings from teachers about dress code and conduct violations have fallen on deaf ears. Hitomi went on rampages around school with her friends, breaking windows and disrupting classes. Dang. Recently, some teachers used harsher measures and even corporal punishment to correct Hitomi's behavior. This only served to exasperate the animosity between Hitomi and the school. Hitomi is widely regarded as the leader of troublemakers at Komagata, but the title does not mean much to her. Yeah, she just seems very, like, troubled. She's just going through a lot at home. I mean, I heard at one point apparently her parents were just, like, had just, like, given up on her or something. They're like, whatever. Like, I think I said something like, oh, she's, like, not our daughter anymore or something messed up like that. I'm like, dang. So they don't really care where she goes, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if they were kind of, like, you know, neglectful to some extent. Alright, so here's this dude who's, not a good dude. The one who's blackmailing, poor girl, Michio. So we'll read a little bit about Jinochi. He was an honor student at the top of his class in his high school days, the apple of his parents' eyes. He was placed under immense pressure to attend a first-rate university. The pressure caused Kohei to sink into a deep depression and failed his entrance exam. Even at the university he was able to enter, Kohei struggled to keep up with his classes, leaving him a vain but wounded young man. He never aspired to be a teacher, figured it was the least he could do with his talents. He considers his students to be beneath him and largely looks down on them all. Damn. Yeah, this dude definitely shouldn't be a teacher. Well, he's dead now, but I was gonna say jail. Obviously, he's done some messed up stuff, but, oh, this is, Michio's, like, her stepdad, I guess. The common-law husband of Michio's mother. Ankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. Seems he has served some time in prison. The details are unknown. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'll actually talk to this dude. Um, so here is Natsue Yamamori. She's the chairwoman of the soaps place. She retired from her position 2 years ago. She still has great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities, earning her the nickname the Witch of Hihaku. Interesting. Prior to the war, Natsue enjoyed working her dream job at a textile factory. She was forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire during the war. She was ordered to rework the fabric she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for blue-collar work. Huh. She saw that Western-style clothing was popular in the post-war period, and then she left the textile industry. A nod to her past can be seen in her company name, with Hihaku being another name for kasuri, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven with dyed fibers. Interesting. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied at the textile factory, Natsue saw a business opportunity, set up her small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products, which quickly gained a good reputation. Ever the shrewd businesswoman, Natsue ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV, featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku soaps into a household name. Okay. And this is also where our poor boy Shogo, original pro tag, worked. Really, he's like tutorial boy. What I want to know, are we ever going to see Yoko again? I really liked her in the intro, and it seemed like she was more part of that segment. I wonder if she'll ever make an appearance. I think she probably will, but it's just been a while. I feel like she'll probably show up at a weird time and be a big aha moment. At least I hope so. Oh, this is a dude. Fumichika Nejima. The man who made headlines over 2 decades ago is the perpetrator of the brutal killings, known as the Nejima murders. Wait. You're telling me... Hold on. I'm trying to remember his name. I might have gone past him already. That dude? This is the same person? Okay. Yeah, time really does change a person, I guess. Alright. Let's see. Is there anything else I can look at here? So, an influential person at Hihaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Richter proposed we use money to negotiate for the curse stones, but we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. Yeah, true. He tells me he barely slept last night, and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what sets apart a detective from the rest. Alright, let's talk to him. First I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better off if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe for some tea perhaps. Okay. I'm going in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night, however... You said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. How does this dude just know, though? Like, how does he know? Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right, we lack time. I'll confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the Haunting Clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. Damn. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this? These are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. Wait. Is this dude bluffing? He's gotta be, right? 6. Whoa, I can rest at ease then. Here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you, I'll oblige. And that's how it went. So they aren't after the right after all? I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stone as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. Okay. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Alright, yeah, I guess let's go to a different area. Well, I haven't gone to Midoricho yet. Let's go there. We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. Let's check it out. This place is connected with the story of the Taiko of Tsugaru. Not only that, Hatsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. Oh, interesting. Hokusai was the very, very famous artist who did like the Kanagawa wave painting among many others. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Ayame is best girl, in my opinion. Oh, there's a sticker. Oh, good morning, ma'am. You found haiku. That's a rare one. Is it now? Why is it in the branches, though? Oh my gosh, this one's so cool. I actually love these. And I'm not even, like, a huge bird person. Like, it really depends. But, like, this is badass. Look at this. This is, like, a really cool pigeon boy here. He's doing his thing. Let's see. Is there anything else for me to look at here? I think so. It seems picking up Ayame's trail is out of the question for now. Why did we even come here? It's always heartwarming to see children playing in the park. Richter seems to like kids, perhaps because they're on the same wavelength? Is that a diss? I don't know. Let's talk to him. We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then, be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing? I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keep watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them, despite being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You were planning to go that far? We won't make much progress sticking around here. Okay, yeah, let's, go somewhere else. Shoot, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll just go back to the high school. I've already been to all these areas, so... Unless there's something new that will develop. No developments here is what he said. I don't know if there'd be anything back at Michio's house. I doubt anyone's still living here. Hmm? Oh, so you came here too. What is it? Oh! Interesting, yeah. I wondered if there'd be some kind of meetup like this. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? Ah, okay. So... Yeah, I guess I'll continue Tetsuo's route then. I guess start from 9 a.m. at the Shiraishi High School? Or, sorry, I always say high school, household. So maybe on this encounter now I'll like run into the other two? I'm just gonna kind of skip through this dialogue since I already was looking at all this. Oh, I wonder if I had to like rediscover that again. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. Okay. Okay. I wonder if I have to like leave and then come back or something? I'm just gonna see if that's the case. I don't know if I actually have to do anything else. Nah. Yeah, I guess maybe I just have to re-explore high school and stuff, and then maybe that'll consider enough time passing, and then I go back to the Shiraishi house. Okay, I'm just kind of skipping through this because it's stuff I have seen before. School gates. I'm gonna talk to June a few times. You said the paranormal affairs can't help us right now. Oh yeah, so he's asking about Mio, the psychic high school girl. It's telling me to suspend again. But I don't know. Seems kind of odd, like on the other chapter I was able to kind of meet up with these two. Let me try to go back. I don't know. That's weird. Is it because it's like an hour off or something? And I keep discovering this over and over, which is weird. But, I don't know. I guess I can't resume there. Maybe I have to do something with Yako's path? Start from location selection. Maybe, I mean, I haven't gone to the other places, so maybe I'll try that. Last time I went to the Yasuda Gardens. Let's just try to bounce around in this chapter, see if that changes anything. Ryogoku Bridge. And so... decide on their next location to investigate. Yeah, and then that just kind of, like, ends that. Like, is that always gonna be the case? Like, it just kind of pans off and does not actually let me explore it. It's like I have to figure out something else first. And so they decide on their next location to investigate. Alright, I'm just gonna see, just to kind of check if that is the case for all of these. Just to make sure. Oh my god, it's a bridge. And the other one is Komagata High School, which honestly I might stick with this one because I feel like with the other paths and the other like chapters, they were also able to go to the high school. So I feel like this would be a good spot to hang out at because I might run into like Tetsuo here. Yeah, I'm gonna try this out. Maybe if I run into Tetsuo here, and then that will cause time to pass, and then I can do stuff in this chapter. So let's go back to Tetsuo's route, and we'll start at the high school. So maybe now they can talk to Yako and Mio here. Yeah, now they're here. Alright, cool. Alright, let's just talk to them. Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? Yeah. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ario. Huh, what? Alright. When worlds collide. Alright, here's the scene where the teacher Janochi was found. Hey, aren't you... You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Why would he just say it like that? Ario's not exactly subtle. Say that again? Yeah. Sorry about that. He's with me. Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my work conditions. I'd prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Okay, I guess that worked. Oh yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been, let's go. We got ourselves a deal, right boss? The girls are at our service. Hold on now, what just happened? I never said I'd... Sushi? Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny, you should do stand-up. Alright, let's look around a little. Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but There were too many onlookers for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. What's that rope all about? It indicates where Jinochi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs are all... ugh. Cool it, Ario, you're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right, traces of a curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Jinochi was killed by one of the curses of the Seven Mysteries? Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No, I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Tsutsumi. She's going to get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing. Mio, you're a professional. You think? Totally. You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. So a curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too. Okay. Let's see. Maybe there's like one of those stickers in the sky or something, you know? No, just kidding. But I'm just trying to see if there's anything else here to really look at. It's not really seeming to be the case. Okay, yeah, there's nothing else to say there. Let's see what... just observe June. It's usually easier to let Ario do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. Mio Kurosuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs Chief. I've heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty while I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got strong spirit sense, sharp instincts, and courage, plus quite the brain to back it all up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around. She's certainly well versed in the paranormal. I just can't get over the darkness. So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? Damn, look how he says it like that. If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. Don't want to make her look bad. Alright, I guess I'll just talk to Mio. Or maybe I'll think first. Sushi, huh? Well, if that'll solve the case, it's a small price to pay. I'll just expense it to the Paranormal Affairs later. Damn. So how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me, Yako, the girl standing behind Mio. She does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Probably, just keeping things chill right now is a good move. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at the school. You were here last night? Yes, you see... You two were using a spirit board? That sounds so cool. So that's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. First echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's... the one-sided read. One-sided read. The one-sided read. This is bad. Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot! Think. The curse bearer of the one-sided reed is... Nejima. Fumichika Nejima. He admitted it himself. That's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case... Nejima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Nejima? No clue. I guess they're not familiar with that. About Nejima. So, Nejima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get to your daughter, too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So, just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Jinochi, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi, you mean Hitomi Okuda? Second year student? Well, yes, why? Boss. So she was here last night. I saw Hitomi earlier, though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about that police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did, actually. About Hitomi? Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes, apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talismans could they be? Boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. Well then. Do you think she'd talk to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright then. We better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. Can I ask about Nejima again? If we're talking about people who were at the school last night, there's one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details. There was someone else? Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Janochi getting cursed and killed last night. What? Talk about some vital information. What she said happened was... Michio was the one who killed Mr. Janochi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Janochi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you really think it could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Nejima was behind Janochi's death. But what about Hitomi's story? About this janitor, Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to this school though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. I think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after the release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you— No way! Ario, have the officers apprehended the janitor? Or have the officers apprehend the janitor? He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. Yes, right away. Oh, snap. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Yeah, I kind of figured he's just like on the run. Sounds like they've been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Ario, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. Alright. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us this whole time. Ugh, it gives me chills. For me, it's like, okay, yeah, I understand, like, rehabilitating the Dukes, he was in prison and everything, and giving him a new name. But I still feel like, why would he be allowed near a school? That's what I don't understand. I feel like he could get some other job, but to just be like, oh yeah, dude, you could just work at a high school, like, despite, all the shit that you did in the past, like, that just does not track to me. I don't know. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Yes! Yes, Aria knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh. I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What? I don't like this one bit. Nejima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then, could it have been Old Man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still in the building, too. What, you did? Good thing I didn't say anything. Yeah, we see how that went. When, you did tell him. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. Alright, about the mastermind behind the Feast of Shadows. Put a stop to the Feast of Shadows. I would help if I knew more about how the curses of these 7 mysteries first came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crappy researcher guy. You mean Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him. Alright, he's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. You know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. Cafe? Oh, Kurokikyo Cafe in Kamezawa? Thanks, we'll head over there now. School rules says we're not allowed to go to cafes, though. Oh, really? Don't worry about it. I'll allow it. Thank you. Oh, that's all it takes? Why would they be allowed to go to cafes? There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all this for a reason. I want to find out why. About Hitomi. Mayu Chozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her. Okay. I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh right, one more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters. What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but, well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes, Nakagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases. Jeez, what's up with that? Yeah, that's pretty weird. That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Yeah. Alright, what was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ario. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? What? In like a flashback? A van, there's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman? Yako, is she like having a vision? Yes. Wait, Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. What, what happened with that? Um, Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jinochi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that, I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but you see, well, I have expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he's got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, what happened? Yeah, I don't know. This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case? Yeah, dude. Alright. I don't know if there's anything else for me to do here, honestly. Hey, boss, Forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance from the scene. What is that? Uh, ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon that Michio always used to wear. Wait, really? What a twist. What? Doesn't that mean that Michio is here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then did she come back to life somehow? Um, eh, I don't know what is that possible that someone resurrected her, but they were also saying that that would have to like probably no one has collected enough soul dregs to be able to do that, so I don't know. But how? Uh, it's interesting. 'Cause someone could be like posing as her, I guess. Let's see if they have anything else to say. If it was Michio and I came back to life, if I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Jinochi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. Honestly, I'm just throwing this out here, but I think I forgot his name. I wonder if it was this dude that killed her, EY, which is like her mom's common law husband. I could definitely see something like that. Like this dude seemed really messed up in the head. So I don't know. I feel like it's possible. Just guessing though. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our search for Nejima and Mayu Chozawa. Might be worth it to check Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Got it. Thank you and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Araishi about a way to lift this curse. Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. Alright. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's all I can do in this area, so I guess I'll head on. Alright. Yeah, I unlocked some new paths here. Okay. So yeah, I cannot actually progress any further with Tetsuo's route here. So I can basically choose Haruwe or Yako's route. Which I was kind of curious about Haruwe's just because they ran into these two. So I think I'll go to this one. Dead or alive. Let's start that up. 10 a.m. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's June Ario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. I don't know if they're talking about you. This one here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Mrs. Haruwe Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A bigwig named Shigima? Boss, you know of this guy? Shit, I've heard the name. But you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops here. You'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. Okay. How lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on one second. This is the first time I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Alright. I suppose let's look at the surroundings first off. I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. I gotta say, I really like this current music choice they got going here. Very jazzy. Oh, a sticker. Yeah. The Royal Kingpin Guin? Guin? I don't know how you say that. Oh, Gwyn as in penguin. Aw, he just chillin'. I like him. I don't think there's anything else really to see here. Let's see. It seems they were acquainted, but also like they haven't talked in a long time. Let's talk to, or guess I'll look at them first. He seems like he's got a lot of experience working the streets. Most of the officers I know are the bureaucratic desk jockey types. Contrast is rather striking. A young and energetic detective. He seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him. Aw. Alright, let's talk to Tetsuo. By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you. And that is... Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Honjo? Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady, if you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? I could just say, I don't know, or just nothing. I'll just say, I don't know. I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me. Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. I assumed they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary? I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. Huh, so by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection? And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo? It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get the situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking about shady characters, there was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Warigesui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive, you two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely, I'll let you know if I find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too? There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Let's talk to June. What brings you here, Richter? You want a case? That's right, I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year. Oh, I remember now. You're that Haruwe Shigima from the kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Munesada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am? Indeed, that story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret, and unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place, then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. Huh? By the way, that reminds me. Richter. Yes? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi by chance? You knew? I thought so. It seems like we're here for the same reason, then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh right, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right, he died on the job. I'm sure you heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet, but the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we've found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then... Did you figure something out? Kankichiro Iwai. Huh? Kankichiro Iwai, he'll be the next victim. Oh, really? We have to open the door to the Shiraishi's house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss? I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Oh boy. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... Oh, he's about to bust the door down. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick, look at this. What is it? Oh, what the hell? Whoa, what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here. Whoa, could that be Michio's dad? Nah, it's her stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Kankichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it, this man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Jinochi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei Jinochi had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. Damn. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that, and if she's alive, then... Damn. Oh. What a twist. My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this, what if Michio Shiraishi never died? I was kind of wondering that, yeah. But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? Oh boy. Oh man, I am not gonna know the answer to this. 8 o'clock? Now I have to think of like what happened at 8 o'clock. I have to think of like what would make the most sense. Shikima Residence, South Warigesui Street, Honji Bridge, Midoricho Park, Ryogoku Bridge, former Yasuda Gardens. I'm trying to like narrow it down in my head. Think like what would make the most sense. I mean, she was definitely at the school at some point. I don't know if she would have been at her house then. Probably, I would imagine she was trying to stay away from her house. I guess her stepdad, they think he died like last night, so maybe she wouldn't have been here by then. Oh my god, it's a bridge. Sumida River. I don't know. I almost want to guess. I was almost thinking Kinchibori Park. Because wasn't that where Shogo was found? I don't know if she killed him. Actually, no, I think he died of a different curse. They didn't actually show, like, what happened to him. It kind of just time skipped. But I think he died of, like, the drowning curse. I honestly don't know. I'm kind of struggling with this one. I feel like I could cross off a bunch that I feel like it's like, oh, it's probably not that one. The Yasuda Gardens is where the police officer was found. I don't remember in what state his body was. Or like what they considered like the cause of death. Hold on, let me find him. I always forget his name. Found dead under mysterious circumstances. Early in the morning. Yesterday. That was like yesterday though. I don't know. I don't think she would have been at the school at that time. Probably not. Like, she was there last night. I don't think she would be there in, like, broad daylight. I'm gonna maybe guess at her house. She could have been, like, laying low at her house or something. Because if I'm also thinking at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning. She probably wouldn't want to be seen out in, like, broad daylight, right? So maybe she was here. I am gonna say maybe I'll guess her house. So that's what you think. Let's take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again. Oh, okay, so no, it wasn't that. I'm gonna guess the park, maybe? Ichibori Park. Okay, I guess he's not letting me progress until I choose the right one. Let's try the high school. I honestly don't know. I'm trying to think of all the places that would make sense for her to be at. But I'm honestly kind of struggling with this one. Yasuda Gardens? Okay, maybe Yako's house, I don't know. I see, very well. Okay, so yeah, I definitely didn't guess it right the first time. But wait, she was by Yako's house? Okay. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have guessed that. I'm not sure with what information I would have thought she would be there. I have no idea. Yeah, I got it wrong 4 times. Yeah. I probably would have gotten an achievement if I guessed right the first time. That's okay though. It may have been easier to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. That she got hit by a van? Hold on. Oh yeah, she was found in Warigesui Street, actually. I actually completely forgot about that. I mean, that's not where the candy shop is, right? But that was 1 week ago. So, I don't know. Let's go back to the story. Okay. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi is alive? This is honestly an interesting twist. I did not expect her to just be alive. She must have been resurrected though, right? Like, just seeing snippets of like how she died, unless I don't know, that had to have been right. She must have been resurrected by the right or something. I don't know. Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but do you really think that girl could have managed all this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. I'll start investigating this place. Sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs a good looking at. Bunch of photos of the same person posted on the wall over and over again. Oh, that looks like a Nejima. Hold on, I actually missed that. Okay, I thought there was another bit of dialogue I missed. Huh? Whoa, hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumichika Nejima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. There's even more pasted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. There are candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything here. Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about this. Oh my, who knew the chief inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. I mean, yeah, there is a dead guy here. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankichiro Iwai. You've seen him before? I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. It's amazing. Rule is what it is. It looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say, could have been one of the Shiraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were planning to do. There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'd be a pain to look through all these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. This place is disgusting. Did Michio Shiraishi really live here? This sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. Look at these. Pictures of Fumichika Nejima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Nejima's case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Nejima might be involved in all this too. Do you think he might have something to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today. He'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either. You don't say. That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found the hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light. You don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detectives I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Fortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. And now he's got the one-sided read, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my own daughter. Aye, that's quite the threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here. He wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location. Let's hope so. Alright, it's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumichika Nejima? Wow, this is quite the spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter. You're quite the spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? These aren't just cut out from publications. They even snapped a number of shots of their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. Same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. Think this EY guy was studying them, perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. EY doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. Resurrection? Like the rite? I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. What is it? This looks like a journal. It was probably EY's. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh wow, now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Kankichiro EY fellow, he'd been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start? He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. First, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. Oh, interesting. They were like cellmates. What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not coincidence. It seemed like EY took an interest in the Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. Might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Nejima of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. EY had been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me, too. For years we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders. Yep, it's been a mystery to us all from the very start. Whoa now, wait just 1 minute, do you think... No way, are you saying... That's right, the murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Nejima. Ah, interesting. You've got to be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Nejima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but EY had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Nejima and EY were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that Nutjob did this all for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Resurrection? That means there must have been someone Nejima wanted to bring back to life. Damn, that's it. That has to be it. It all makes sense now. What is it? So, about the Nejima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby? What? A baby? It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. I wonder who this is. This has to be somebody. Uh, Is it Michio? Maybe? I'm kind of curious. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. So was Nejima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but I think it really happens. I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers. It's now without president. Damn, that's messed up. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Nejima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing. Yeah, I remember all of that. Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant? Oh. Goodness. That's horrific. He killed her and dismembered her body. Oh my god, what the hell? We thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her? Bro, this is messed up. Don't misunderstand me, this is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But I, for one, never believed that man would just take in a baby he found under a bridge. I'm feeling sick. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. I'm just wondering if this is like a character that's already been introduced. This was like 20 years ago. So... I'm also thinking this girl, Ayame, who they haven't showed in a while. I think I remember when they showed her, they were saying like she's about 20 years old. So I just feel like her age kind of matches up. It kind of tracks. That would be kind of interesting. Oh yeah, I don't know why I said Ichio, because she would be a bit too young to be that person. And also her dad, her dad they did talk about, I think he died in like they said he died in like an accident or something, so I don't know, maybe it has to be a character they actually show in this game, right? Oh, and then that would be another twist. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child, and that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. Yeah. Be interesting. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Nejima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right. And here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector. Yeah? What happened to the child? Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if she'll actually make an appearance. I'm gonna guess it's Ayame. I don't know. I think they said she was about 20 years old, so that would kind of make sense. It would match up. Um, this drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? Huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right. Ario's in here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman in here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. With the window and storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Nejima. They might have had some relation to Nejima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite. The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration? But then... yeah, I mean, if we kind of already established that one, but... is there anything else to look at here? Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in EY's journal. We know that EY had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Nejima, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct. It turns out someone gave him the idea. Get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori. Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps? So that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic, rituals, and rites, she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like. So she would even throw her money at the occult. Places greed will take you. Well, then that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into the rite of resurrection as well. That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the rite of resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again. Godly powers? What's all that all about? You can ignore that. Either way, I think EY took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother Toshiki, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me? No, you can't mean... You realize then. Perhaps... Uh... I could say... Child, magic, or living sacrifice. Well, let me review what he just said. Michio and her mother Toshiko has unlucky marks. Let's see. Just gonna kind of read a little bit on Haruwe. Let me see, maybe they're talking about his child. Okay, was a child, was magic, was the sacrifice. Let's see. Something about her? Oh, yeah. Okay, I think it's this. Involving I think her child must have been the sacrifice. I feel like living sacrifice. Living sacrifice was a child. I'm gonna say this. I think that makes the most sense. Is that right? No? Um, I think I had it like slightly mixed around. I think it was probably living sacrifice was the child, but oh well. Um, Iwai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young. So it was Iwai, this man. Iwai worshipped Nejima, so he must have also despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention, he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he has a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time. Got it. Iwai kidnapped Haruie Shigima's son and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone. You're telling me then that that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. Damn, it's pretty messed up. You must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses and then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man, he took Shuichi. Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. Don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea from a stupid little man. Okay, ma'am, let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we get some fresh air? I can't believe this. This is... Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal. Oh? Iwai got in contact with Nejima last year after Nejima was released on parole. Provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Nejima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seems most went to Nejima instead. If Nejima's lurking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it is? Fortunately, no, not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Nejima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up among other things. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no, she's alive. That's right, Michio Shiraishi is alive. You can find her and get her to talk. You can get her to spill the beans on his hideout, too. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. The lady's not well. Damn. What a twist. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio because she killed the kidnapper. There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Hey, Richter. Whether the kidnapper is dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Nejima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. Damn. This girl's like next level. She's very like, yeah, you know, the whole town could just die, but whatever. She's just so unbothered about very particular things. I won't give up on resurrection. Damn. Okay. So, I'm counting on you. Holy moly. Wow. There's so much that happened there. It was like a lot to process. But, yeah, so I guess Michio is alive, which is really weird. I'm curious to see what even happened there. Like, was she resurrected? Because they showed her, I mean, they were kind of saying like, oh, she probably just never died in the first place. Like, someone said that. But, I don't know, just showing photos of like, what her body looked like when she was dead, like, there had to have been some supernatural means that she is alive somehow. So, I'm kind of curious out of the circumstances behind that one. And, yeah, the whole connection with Nejima working with EY and doing all this, like, black magic type of stuff. That's like a lot. And then that connects to Haruwe and her son who was kidnapped, so yeah, just a lot of like crossing wires and whatnot. So we have 3 different paths to go on now. I'm not gonna like regress. I think that's probably where I will end for today, but I'm just gonna kind of look at these just to kind of get an idea for next time and to decide like where I want to go, basically. Okay. So yeah, basically with Haruwe, she's just like, nah, I still want to do the resurrection ritual. She's very adamant on that. They hurry to the high school after learning that Michio knew the whereabouts of Nejima's hideout. And then this one here, Seiman. Or Seimon. I think it's how you say that. Um, Rite of Resurrection is the inception of the whole affair. Yako and Mio decide to confront the man responsible. Hideki Aireishi. I don't know. I definitely feel like Tetsuo's path is kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, like the main path. And I feel like everything else is kind of like, they're definitely important, but they're more like kind of interconnected with this. And I feel like theirs is the main path in the sense of like, oh, they're trying to literally find the dude responsible for everything pretty much with Nejima. So I'm thinking next time I'm going to start on Tetsuo's route again and kind of see where that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna do a manual save here. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens next time. I'm gonna close out of this game for now. But yeah. There's like so much going on with this game that it's like I feel like stuff is really picking up now from the last time I played. I feel like before it was just like, okay, we're just kind of trying to find the curse stones and everything. And now it's like, wow, there's like all this stuff going on. It's like a lot. Like I think Michio somehow being alive is like the biggest like what the hell's going on moment for me. It's just like I feel like the thing that would make the most sense is that she was resurrected somehow. And there's been a lot of talk on whether or not that's even a possibility basically. Like there's a lot of characters that are just like they're just saying the right of resurrection, but that's like a hoax. Like that's not a real thing. It's just all like a rumor or like baseless pretty much. But it's like if she is actually alive, like how would she have survived such a like grave incident and where they showed photos of her and everything where it was just like yeah, there's no way she would like walk away from that. And even if she did, she would have been like in the hospital, you know, she would have been like because that incident happened like a week ago. There's no way she would have been just like going around on this like rampage pretty much. Like it would have taken her a long time to heal. So there must be some sort of supernatural means behind all this for sure. So I'm curious to see where the story goes with that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm definitely I'm gonna end the stream for here tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna pick back up with the story and everything tomorrow. I'll be streaming at the same time tomorrow. I'm kind of sticking with the like the 7 p.m. EST. I think that definitely is working better for me currently. So yeah. So I'll be here tomorrow. This is Moony Gooly and I'm out of here. See ya.